Today on Pro Church Daily, we're talking about the 3 S's of quality communications.
Well, hey there, and welcome to Pro Church Daily, the show where in 10 minutes or less, you'll get your daily dose of tips and tactics to help your church share the message of Jesus while we navigate the biggest communication shift we've seen in the last 500 years. I'm your host, Alex Mills, and I'm joined, as always, by the boss man. It's Brady Shearer. Today, we're going to talk about the 3 S's of quality communication.
And before we did Pro Church Daily, this daily video and audio show, we had more than 200 episodes of the Pro Church podcast where I was interviewing a guest. So we'd spend about 40 minutes with leaders within the church in communications and pastoral care and media, video, social, internet, beyond. And we'd always do a little bit of a kind of pre-ramble before I hit record. Mm-hmm. And in that time, I'd make sure that I pronounced the guest's last name correctly. Right. Make sure that they understood that they were recording and everything was happening. And I would also suggest to them, especially if they were newer to podcasting, okay, when it comes to communication on this podcast, there are 3 S's that you can abide to really make sure that your episode is well received. And those 3 S's are as follows. And they don't just work for podcasting. I found that they work for stage announcements, they work for blog posts, podcasting, videos, messages. Anytime that you need to communicate, what's great about these 3 S's is that it's not a 3-step framework like 1, 2, 3. There are 3 different things within the realm of communication that you can draw from at any time that you need to make your talk, make your video, make your podcast, make your insert content medium here more compelling and more attention-grabbing. Yeah. The first S is stories. We've talked in the past about how powerful storytelling as a medium is. It's the most powerful form of human communication. One of the reasons for that is that storytelling is the only type of human communication that forces our brains to focus. Right now, we're recording in this room, and behind the camera is Jonas, and he's not listening. But if I start telling a story, maybe he'd look up from his phone and begin listening. That's the power of storytelling. I've seen it happen firsthand with my brother-in-law sitting in the auditorium of a church, looking down in his lap on Facebook, pastor doing some exegeting of an actual verse. Pastor transitions in his message to a story. Yeah. Hey, I once knew this girl named Melissa. Ryland, my brother-in-law, back row, he immediately looks up and starts paying attention because his brain prioritized a story over Facebook on his phone. That's how powerful storytelling is. Another great thing about storytelling is that it allows you to imagine what the person is actually communicating. So it's one thing to, share details. It's another thing to tell a story, to recapture an event that happened, because it allows everyone that's listening to put themselves in the story, become the person that is the actual protagonist of the story. And that is so much more of a better way of experiencing information because it allows us to be, engulfed within an actual experience. Yeah. You don't just hear about something, you become a part of something. Right. So that's the first S, storytelling. The second S is statistics. And this is something that I love when it comes to communication because it lends a certain level of credibility that an anecdote, like a story, doesn't necessarily do. Of course, storytelling is highly persuasive because it is anecdotal. It makes us feel like, this could happen to anyone. And we often find, at least I do, in arguments where people, or in discussions, let's say, where people will almost always use only anecdotal evidence. You'll say something like, it's tough for, I don't want to say anything controversial. Okay, here's an example. Okay. We'll just do sports. Okay. Man, DeMar DeRozan of the Toronto Raptors is having a great year. And then you pull up his statistics, and then someone who doesn't really watch goes, but I don't know, he missed that shot the other day at the end of the game. And you go, okay, but that was one shot. Let's look at the data as a whole. That's going to lend a lot more credibility than you sharing a single anecdote. And again, this is why we're talking about the 3 S's. They all work in tandem, one with another with another. That's what makes them great. On their own, they're not nearly as strong as when used all 3. Right. So statistics, they lend credibility, and they can be very persuasive because statistics, unlike stories and anecdotes, almost feel like black and white. It's not entirely true because statistics only offer a single data point. They don't provide context for an entire issue. But a data point is a data point. Yeah. If it was, collected appropriately, correctly, following best practices for, surveying and data collection, you can't disagree with it. Right. It is what it is. And that's what makes it so persuasive and adds credibility to anything that you're trying to communicate. That's the second S, statistics. The third S is steps. So we've got storytelling, statistics, and steps, the 3 S's of communication. Why do I love steps so much, Alex? I love them because steps are great for taking complex ideas and then breaking them down into easy digest single actions. Right. So if you are talking to someone about, let's go back to basketball. We want you to be able to develop a 3-point shot. And someone says, man, I got to shoot from behind this line. It's really far away, and that seems really difficult. Okay, well, let's start by just making sure that your form is really great. The first step, starting just 2 feet away from the basket, shooting, making sure that your form is correct. Because before we can step out, 20 plus feet beyond the 3-point line, we got to make sure that your form is correct, or otherwise we'll never be able to get to the final destination. You take a seemingly complex action and you break it down into easy to digest single actions into steps, and suddenly it seems attainable for everyone, especially when you're sharing messages from stage. If you talk about breaking a habit, breaking an addiction, developing a prayer habit, or finding true faith where you can rely on Jesus every single day, not rely on some type of vice that you fall and prey to again and again. That is a huge notion to suggest that someone can do. And so if you can break that down into easy to understand steps, suddenly when I look at the problem as a whole, it feels like I can't tackle that. But when I just look at the first step, I can do the first step. Once I've done the first step, I can go to the second step, and then beyond and beyond from there. So that's the third S.
We use these tools at our church all the time, whether it's communicating something in a video format, a media format online. I use them all the time in the context of preaching, because you get up there and you prepared a message. You want to tell people, look, this is who Jesus is. This is the reality of our humanity, and because we're broken, because He's made us whole, we can have this, but we need to do this and this and this to get there. Right. So the end of your message, you want to offer a step to these people. This is how we can move from point A to point B, and using tools like storytelling and even statistics. Statistics from the front of a church, they're great. And to get to that next step, that third S, I use that tool all the time in preaching, and it just proves effective every time.
Yeah, absolutely. Communication can be so difficult because what seems so clear to you inside of your head that you have as a lived experience, or you've already been convinced of, you then have to create a journey and a pathway to take the people that you're communicating to from where they are now to where you already are. And that can be very difficult. But these 3 strategies of statistics, stories, and steps are what I've found to be some of the best ways to make it happen. Used on their own, powerful.
Yep.
Used in tandem, all 3 together, unstoppable.
Absolutely.
That'll do it for this episode of Pro Church Daily. But before you go, we wanted to tell you about StoryTape.com. And this is an important day because today is the final day that this StoryTape offer exists. StoryTape is our unlimited stock video platform where you can sign up and download unlimited thousands upon thousands of stock video clips to use and create sermon bumpers and B-roll for stories and for announcements and event promos and ministry promos and small group promos.
Yep.
Men's ministry promos.
Nice.
Women's ministry promos. Kids ministry promos? Yes. Today is the final day, though, to lock in the special offer that we've been doing throughout the month of January. You want to head to StoryTape.com. You want to sign up for StoryTape Unlimited. You want to enter the coupon code DAILY at checkout. And then you'll want to download the 25 proven video templates that we're giving away as a free bonus. We don't normally do this. It's only happening in the month of January. So
Today's
today
the last day.
Is your final day.
Yep.
And as you may have noticed, I just offered 4 steps to do it.
I noticed.
Step 1. Go to StoryTape.com. Step 2, sign up for StoryTape Unlimited. Step 3, enter the coupon code DAILY. Step 4, win.
And you know what? This is going to help you tell stories better.
Wow.
And if you're looking for statistics, we have a bunch.
Yeah. Flames and Embers is the most popular scene on the site.
There you go.
Right now.
Yeah.
But who knows what it will be when you sign up for StoryTape and start downloading. Today's the last day to do it. Head to StoryTape.com, sign up and join us. Thanks for watching today's episode of Pro Church Daily. Of course, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching today's episode of Pro Church Daily. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another video.
And if you like this video, it would mean the world to us if you give it a thumbs up.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.